Hi, everyone. It's going to be an R.E.M. weekend this time. And, well, I've listened to 3 R.E.M. songs already. The first one was Losing My Religion. And then It's the End of the World as We Know It. And Everybody Hurts, I believe. So this one is going to be Drive from 1992. Drive was the first song lead singer Michael Stipe wrote on a computer. Oh, that's interesting. The arrangement of Drive was in part inspired by Queen, reported Scott Litt. Pete and Mike are big Queen fans. Queen records, for all their bombast, sounded like each player had a personality. I agree. I happen to like Queen as well, as you all know. And yes, they are bombastic, flamboyant, dramatic, but the personality, the character of each player is what makes it more than just some big bombastic piece. It is actually beautiful to get in and explore. Well, this is R.E.M. and it seems that they liked Queen as well. Oh, one more thing. This stood out to me. The first song lead singer Michael Stipe wrote on a computer. That is something for all of you who wish to compose music, wish to create music. Keep in mind, he did not start out by writing his music on the computer. Yes, many people do, but practically every composition teacher or professor that I know, and I know a fair number, they all say it's one of the biggest problems. Students come in and they've got all this technology. They've been writing music on their computers at home and they think that they have compositional understanding. They say, no, go back. Go back to before you had something to spit it out at you. Go back before where you had to actually create the sound on your instrument or simply write it out on paper. Learn to do that first. Then go to the computer. Because otherwise you're using the computer as a crutch. Well, let's not be too arbitrary about that. But it's interesting to notice that even R.E.M. didn't start by writing their music on the computer. That's an interesting...
Smash, smash, crack, push, whack.
So this intro guitar, I kind of like the way it's playing a bit. It's playing around with, is this rock or is this more folk accompaniment? Bum, ba, da, 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 ba, da, da. You could almost think of it as just an arpeggiated folk rock style accompaniment, right? But they put just enough rhythmic adjustment in there that you, as much as we're relating to the arpeggiation as accompaniment, as just setting it up, it also has some rhythmic interest. I like that. Okay. Dum bum bum. That little bass line is what shaped it. Dee dee dum. And that makes that gradually shapes the accompaniment into
tie another one to the wraps, baby. Hey, kid, rock and roll. Nobody tells you where to go, baby.
That's interesting.
What if I ride? What if you walk? What if you rock around the clock? Tick, tock, tick,
Is that harmonica or what? No, that's violin.
what if
String.
you did? What if you walk? What if you tried to?
Or maybe it's
get
not.
on, baby?
But I like the addition. Ooh, that's good too. So, do, 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 do. That bass down there still going on. And then the voice coming in.
Get on, baby.
right down there with the bass. That's nice.
Kids, where are you? Nobody tells you what to do, baby.
That's not a violin.
Hey, kid, shake.
Might be harmonica, or it might be something like accordion.
Maybe you did.
Interesting the way it teases my ears.
Maybe you rocked around the clock. Tick, tock, tick, tock. Maybe I ride, maybe you walk, maybe I drive to get on, baby.
So it's interesting to me. I don't think that I would ever guess that this was Queen. But it's interesting to me to know that it was kind of inspired by the Queen style, Queen sound, and I guess I can hear influences, but I feel like R.E.M. has such a strong identity of their own as a band that it's not at all an imitation or a recreation or trying to even sonically, it's not even a sonic imitation. There's whether it's the musical style or the soundscape or even the instrumental, the voice and the instruments, there is nothing there that make me say, oh, that was Queen. Not at all. And I love that. I love that because this is a great example of a composer, a band, being inspired by and gaining ideas from, finding things they like in someone else, something else. And yet when they take it, it becomes something of their very own making. It's still their own voice. It's still their own style. It's still their own personality. Maybe it was simply that they gave themselves permission to be a bit more dramatic, a bit more flamboyant, a bit more bombastic than they normally would otherwise. But when it comes out R.E.M. It doesn't come out Queen. And that is a beautiful example of one set of great artists being inspired by another set of great artists, and at the same time not losing their own voice, their own character, not losing their religion.
I try to get on, baby. Hey, kids, shake a leg. Maybe you're crazy in the head, baby. Ollie, 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 and come free, baby. Hey,
Almost a little quote from
where are you? Nobody tells you what to do, baby.
This little motif, this little riff, whatever you want to call it, is something that I think, as simple as it is, as unpretentious as it is, the more I more I make my way through this piece, the more I feel like it is such a distillation of everything in this song. There is the rhythmic interest. There is the very classic, or as I said at the beginning, folk. But I didn't mean to imply that everything everything that uses that pattern is folk. It's just one that you hear a lot in simple folk style stuff. But here it's applied. But I would say that this arpeggiation figure kind of, this accompaniment kind of says, I'm classic. I'm a classic. There's this timeless element, timeless quality to this piece. And there's an incredible depth in the musical construct, in the different sonic layers. You have the bass parts. You have the mid-range parts. You have the treble. It's not really heavy in the high treble range, but still it's there. You hear it in the strings and in that little plucked guitar. You hear not only the different ranges, you hear different instrumental voices, textures, colors, sonic colors. You hear a voice, which is, it's interesting. It's very calm, but it's not dull. This is a piece that could easily be rather kind of static, that sort of repetitive, hypnotic feeling of, okay, I want to listen to this if I really just want to zone out. No, this has an interest to it. It has these nice shapes in what each instrument is doing and where it's going and what's happening. There's so much in this that makes me say, this is what I call a 3D piece of music. You have the color, you have the light and the dark, the high and the low, the textures, the rhythmic variety, the melodic variety. You have a nice harmonic framework within which to work. It really is a nice, interesting piece. Now, we haven't gone to anywhere that's super intense. And I'm going to say, I don't care if we do or not. It could, and it could be highly effective. Or it could simply stay more like it has been and still be highly effective, because it's not requiring that. There's so much interest, musical interest, in all these different ways that we don't need some sort of frenzied, dramatic climax. It's okay if it comes. I'm not against the idea of it coming, but it's not necessary. It's rich already as it is. I like the little touches of strings. I like this
smack, crack, shack-a-lack. Tie another
strumming
one to your back, baby.
The voice down.
Hey, kids, rock and roll. Nobody
and this
tells
sort of
you where
echo
to go,
reverb,
baby.
it just enhances what's already there. But I don't even feel like it would be necessary. I think you could do this without that, meaning it could be done live and it could still be highly effective. Here comes the percussion. But as the percussion's coming in getting more assertive, so also the strings are flowing along, sweeping us along. And then speaking rhythmically, the way the lyrics, they pause, they take time, you wait, you hear the music shifting, but then we get right back in, ya da 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 da. But as that happens, so also the music grows around it. So there's never a point at which we only have one thing to listen to. We always have multiple things to listen to. And I'm not speaking just in terms of voice or instrument. I'm not saying there are always several instruments playing. I'm talking about the musical elements: melody, rhythm, harmony, texture, color, shape, pacing, all of that. There's always so much happening. And that's one of the things that makes it feel so timeless.
Maybe I try to get on, baby.
our guitar.
Hey, kids, rock and roll. Nobody tells you where to go, baby. Baby.
I think that's a beautiful piece of music. And it's not just because it has strings and nice, rich sounds. Of course, I like those kind of sounds. But that's not why I say it's beautiful. Because, as you know, I've listened to plenty of music that includes that same stuff. And it's okay. It's nice. There are good things about it. There are nice things, interesting things. But I don't just jump up and say, oh, that was beautiful. This one, though, there is a beauty about it. There is a richness, a warmth, a depth to it. And if I were going to try to put my finger on exactly why it works so well at doing what it does, I would say that it has to do with this wonderful blend of rhythmic interest and tone color interest, along with a very sensitive and skilled melodic contour, both in the instruments around the voice, as well as the way the voice itself, although the voice is quite tending towards monotone. You can't say that it is monotone because it does have its own shape. And it's one of those pieces where usually the voice moves up to moves higher in range to make its point, to create its shape, its dynamic interest. In this case, and this is what's fun about this piece, rather than going up so much, the voice goes down and doesn't even go down forcefully, aggressively. It's really at the bottom of his range. He's barely coming up with any voice down there. And yet it works so well with the way that bass is shaping things, and he moves right down in the bass range. And then you have the bass and the voice. It's not very often that we hear the bass and the voice in the same plane. And that's something that is fun to hear, interesting, different, and not merely a novelty, but it's built into the whole shape of this song and the mood, the atmosphere. It works incredibly well, really well. One of the reasons it works is because that voice and bass is so well done, but also it is balanced by some of the more reedy, as I said, is it accordion? Is it strings? Is it harmonica? But there's that reedy pitch, which is a very narrow, pointed pitch up higher. And so you end up, it's another way in which we end up with this 3D, top and bottom, front and back, sides and everything, musical effect. And those are all parts of why this piece works so well. Interestingly, there's not just one reason. It's a combination of all the different parts serving their roles and fitting in musically, and really a nice piece. So that is my first time hearing this song, Drive, from 1992, and a really rewarding, enjoyable first listen. I'm sure I'll be listening to it again on my playlist, and I'm looking forward to what I hear tomorrow, which will also be R.E.M, but that's all I know. I'll see you then.